Hi, another entry by Judge Prometheus. This one take poem is titled The Scales of Judge Prometheus by Judge Prometheus. I step from smoke, my boots cracking the concrete, eyes glowing beneath the visor. Justice on my tongue, like blood in a lion's mouth. Not your justice, mine. One you won't find in courtrooms with mahogany trim or beneath powdered wigs, but in the alleys where the truth leaks like oil and the air tastes like betrayal. Let me tell you something. They say it's a free country, but that depends on what you can afford. Speak two languages in a suit, you're cultured, global, a citizen of the world. Speak two languages in a hoodie while working in a field, you're suspicious, an outsider, a problem, and a scapegoat. Have a drink at work in a corner office in a skyscraper, it's networking, celebrating a win, unwinding after closing a deal or after the quarterly. But if your collar's blue and your paycheck's thin, it's unprofessional, dangerous, grounds for dismissal. Same vice, different verdict. You can work with your hands or your head, but only one of those gets you a penthouse with a view. The other gets you a sore back and judgment from people who don't even know how to lift. They call it mediocrity, but I call it masking tape on a cracked dam. Words to keep the cattle calm while the wolves pick the herd. Today's war isn't red versus blue. It's not race versus race or north versus south, west versus east. It's a class war with a capital C for capitalist. They hide behind LLCs, C corps and S corps, trust funds and tax shelters. The rich man skips rent. It's a strategy. The poor man skips rent. It's a crime. He gets bailed out. You get locked in forever. They call it affluenza or influenza. Is it? I don't even know at this point anymore. Is the bird flu the next biggest issue? Like being rich is a sickness that makes them unable to know right from wrong. But being broke? Now that's a character flaw, a permanent scar that no apology or therapy can fix. They tell you get a job, pick yourself up by your bootstraps, when it's literally impossible. That's the point of picking yourself up by the bootstraps. You get 3 jobs and now they call you lazy and ungrateful because your fridge is empty and your eyes are tired. They say the poor man makes bad decisions, but when the rich gamble with billions, that's vision. That's a venture capitalist. That's an angel investor. That's Ozark. They fail upwards. You drown quietly, but you do drown. In a job that thanks you with bruises and pennies. You make a dime, your boss makes 100. Not a dollar anymore. They say money doesn't change people, but let me correct that. Money only amplifies and multiplies and sanctifies who you are. It turns sin into exclusivity and crime into innovation. But me, I see through the smoke and mirrors. I walk through boardrooms and back alleys with the same slow steps as Batman or Bruce Wayne, Tony Stark or Iron Man, the Green Arrow or Iron Fist. I've seen millionaires lie with a grin and a janitor give their last dollar to a man who needed it more than him. I watched a man in rags hold his pride like a sword and a man in silk bow like a coward. So don't talk to me about justice or being righteous if only justice you can afford. The hammer in my hands is heavy because it carries the weight of hypocrisy. I'm a walking hypocrite, but at least I admit mine. Every time I slam it down, I ask myself, would this be a crime if his zip code ended in gold, diamond, or platinum? It all depends on what's in your bank account, or who's in your bank account, or maybe where your bank account is. This ain't a game of good and evil anymore. It's haves versus have-nots. Class versus class. The rich write the laws, the poor live in the footnotes. The middle class is evaporating, and the rich are getting richer, and the poor are getting poorer, and there ceased to be a middle ground. But I'm here now, and I remember every slight, every eviction I had to clean out, feeling so bad that I'm the one making money off of someone else's suffering. But someone has to clean it up so someone else can live there. Every boot on the neck when an officer looked at me like this before. I had 3 LLCs. They didn't wear designer. They wore a goddamn badge. A fucking copper badge. I am the voice of the voiceless, the judgment they fear in their dreams. They look me in my eyes and they know exactly who I am, on the mic, off the mic, in person, in the game. Not because I punish without mercy, but because I punish firmly and fairly. That scares them more than hell itself. Because for once, the scales tip back. All the wine, lawyers, and offshore accounts can't save them from the truth. I'm not your cop. I'm not your savior. I'm the reckoning. Judge Prometheus, the bringer of violence, the bringer of fire, the bringer of balance, the bringer of war. We must prepare for war to maintain peace.